Morning, gang. Actually, I don't know what the date is. What's the date? It's Wednesday, the 20th of May, 2020. Welcome along to this morning's chat show, coming to you from the garden this morning. I recorded this little bit just about 20 minutes ago. All right, so we're in the garden to start off today's show. You may notice a chat box. I've turned the delay off. And I've turned the delay off because if I'm not referring to the chat box so much, it's kind of unnecessary to have the delay on there. The whole point of putting the delay on was to try and slow down the chat a little bit so that I could keep up. But as we're not referring to it so much now, certainly not while we're doing the stories and that, it seems a bit pointless having it on there. So the chat box's timer is off now. Okay, so feel free to chat amongst yourselves while we're doing the show. As always, beautiful day out here. Can you hear the magpies? Listen. I always think they're quite angry when that noise is happening. Like that. I can hear the wood. And you hear the wood pigeons as well? Oh, it's beautiful out here this morning. Beautiful day. Cloudless, just a few wispy clouds in the sky. I must say it was hot last night in the studio when we were doing the quiz night. I had the air conditioning all night long last night, but good quiz last night. Thanks very much to those of you that played. Hope you were entertained a little bit, just a little bit perhaps. All right. The chair inserts. Now, you remember I said to you I bought new chair inserts because the other ones had rotten and my mate had gone through one, nearly damaging myself. Well, I've bought new chair inserts, but it hasn't quite worked out as I wanted it to do. They arrived yesterday afternoon, and I've tried to put them in. Have a watch of this. They come in a packet like that through the Amazon service people, right? So you just open a packet and you're left with these red covers. Now, the way they slot in, this is from the chair I haven't, the sort of second chair I haven't done yet. See, that slots in kind of some openings in there. So that becomes part of the material. And then you slot it in here, just like this, right? Slot it in there and that holds it in, which is fairly easy, to be honest. Now, the bottom part of it, as you can see, now that's worked. So, if I can just move around a bit here. Oh dear, can't get up now. I can't do it with one hand. I haven't got the tripod out here. Well, but that comes up, right? So that makes it easier to slot in, and then you push it down, and that's the bit you sit on. Similarly, with the back part, okay, that's supposed to happen as well. But as you can see, it's not the right size. It was too loose, as in, you know, going, so you could lean right back, which wasn't right. That's supposed to be tight as well. So what I did was wrap it around here. Wrap it around there, and I put an extra hole there, okay, so that it would go through the material. Unfortunately, that's made it too tight. So you can't win. Can you see where this isn't straight? And when you sit on it, it just doesn't feel right. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Obviously, I can't send them back now because this idiot here put a hole in it. But, yeah, bit disappointed with that, really. The other one, here's the other chair I haven't done yet. And you can see what I mean by that. Sort of, hang on, let's just move that up there. Okay, so you move that up there. You put your slots in, put it down, and it stretches it out. And you can sit on it. There's the back bit there. Here's the bit I fixed here, which will be, that'll be nice and dry now. I feel like I'm doing one of Martin's videos, but more unprofessionally. I put a couple of cable ties there just until it dries. But as I say, good quality, very good quality. They were 15 quid each. My mate's coming round later to have a look to see if I've done something wrong here. He might have a better idea than me, actually. So we'll see if he comes up with any ideas a little bit later on when he pops over for his cup of tea. Remembering social distancing. He sits at one end of the garden. Well, he'll sit at this end of the garden. I'll be sitting at the other end of the garden there. Thanks very much to Peter Paliwoda last night, who sent me a little link to an interesting article. People with static caravans, as indeed I have a static caravan, and whether or not they can get refunds if they haven't been using the caravan. Now, my personal thoughts on this are, they are a business. you know. And it's a bit like paying rent for your house. When you go on holiday for a couple of weeks, you still have to pay the rent or the mortgage, whatever you've got. And I feel the same way about a caravan site. That being said, there are so many different types of caravan sites. The one I'm on is a small family-run caravan site. It's not massive at all. Basically, it's your caravan, the pitch, and water and electricity and all that business. And we have quite low rates where I am. This year, for the whole year, I've paid £1,450. Now, some of you have got caravans as well, probably are paying much, much more than that. I don't find many people at all who pay anywhere near what I pay. But that being said, that's all it is. It's a caravan. It's where it's situated at the pitch, and I have a very good pitch. And it's all the water. That's all included. There's no rates. There's no separate bills for everything. That's it. One fee, £1,450 for the year. I know that... oh Christ, I've forgotten his name now. John Parrish, for example. I know John Parrish has nowhere near a good deal as I've got there, and I take no pleasure in saying that at all. And he's got all sorts of things set out, rates and this, that and the other. And I'm looking at he sent me a private letter some time ago, and I'm looking at this, well, what's all this for? But he's not the only one. A lot of them do that. Now, as I've got a family-run thing, I don't feel that I should be asking them for a refund. I mean, I really don't, you know, because that's the deal. You pay that a year, and there's your caravan when you want to use it. Now, I have to say that our site has been open since April. The very fact that the government won't allow us to travel up there, I don't think is here or there. That's not their fault. Their site has been open since April. So if I wanted to, we're not allowed to at the moment. If I wanted to, I could go up there and go into my caravan. So the option is there for me. Do you see what I mean? So I don't feel that I should be asking for any sort of refund, and indeed I won't. However, other sites, they have all sorts of entertainment. We don't have anything like that. They have swimming pools, little gymnasiums perhaps, little things for the little kiddly-winks to go and play on, entertainment at night, a bar, a restaurant, and they have all that. Now, of course, if you're on a site and they've got all that and you can't use it, that's a different thing altogether. I think you should possibly be asking for a refund, at least part refund, for you not being able to use those things. And certainly as well, perhaps if a site is closed. Although again, if a site's closed, it's not necessarily their fault, is it? They've been told to close it. Do you see what I mean? I do look at the caravan thing as sort of paying rent for a house. You know, you've still got to pay it, whether or not you're there. So that's what I feel about that. But that being said, thanks very much for Peter Palamoda for sending me that piece of information. Fascinating. Very, very interesting at all. But we do have access to the site. I could have been going up there since... actually, they opened early this year with permission from the council. They opened in March in case anyone wanted to self-isolate at their caravan. You're not allowed to do it now, of course, but I think if you got in before the lockdown started, that would have been okay. But you would have had to stay there. Wouldn't been able to come home. That's how I understand it. What else have we got here? Let's have a look. My Barry Manilow concert tickets have been moved back. Oh dear. Oh, what a shame. It was supposed to be in June. Of course, there won't be anything open in June. So they've now moved that back to August. I'll be honest with you, I still think that's a little bit too early. And I'm a little bit... I don't know if I will want to be going in a big hall with loads of people in August, to be honest. And I've got fantastic seats, front seats and everything, but I'm not sure that I'm comfortable with going out with lots of people at the moment. So I went on the Ticketmaster site, and I thought, maybe I'll just ask for a refund, but that option doesn't seem to be available on the Ticketmaster site. It only has, if you want a, what do you call it, like a credit ticket, you know? Oh, what do they call that? Like a credit note or a gift card. If you want a Ticketmaster credit note, so you can use this for any other concert, click here and we'll give you one. And I'm thinking, well, I don't want a credit note. To be honest, Barry's the only concert I ever buy tickets from through Ticketmaster, and then not always through Ticketmaster. You know, I might go direct to the Barry Manilow people and buy it from there. I don't really want that. I want a refund. I don't really want to go in August. I would like and it's quite a lot of money because they're front row tickets, you know, it's a bit saved up, and this is going back to September. That's when we bought them. I think it was earlier than that, maybe. So I'd rather have a refund, and I'm not quite sure how to go about that. I was talking to my mate on the phone yesterday, and he said, leave it to him. He's very good at getting refunds and money out of people, including me, actually. So I might give him the phone, and whether or not you'll be able to get through to these people, I don't know. I would imagine they're pretty busy doing refunds and things like that, but I'd rather have the refund, perhaps even minus a small administration fee. Oh, there's bound to be one of those, isn't there? Bound to be one of those, rather than going in a hall full of people, and that'll help me out as well at the moment with a sort of bit of a lack of money that we've all got at the moment. So that's the Manilow concert. Andy has sent in some pictures. Actually, that's a lie. Andy has sent in one picture, which is quite clever, really. I have to tell you, before you click the like button, it is a picture of me. Okay, but he's done something to it. It's very clever. I've only just got the one thing to show you today. So if you'd like to see that today, click your like button. That's the thumbs up at the bottom of the screen there. All right, my darlings, click the thumbs up at the bottom of the screen there, and I'll show you Andy's picture. Today is a special offer, as it's a picture of me, which you're unlikely to want to see because I'm sitting here now. But you can see it's interesting what Andy's done to it. We will only require today 17 likes. That's all we need today is 17 likes. Okay, when I get back up to the studio, we'll see how many we've got up there. Later on today, I think I'm going to go to Lidl today. I've got my mask. Where's my face? But it's hanging on the line here. Do you want to see my mask? Yeah, I've got my mask here. Hang on a minute. Yes. Proper mask here, this is proper, mate. Yeah, proper. Look, proper. Yes, my 3M mask. Look at this. Actually, now that I think about it, it's been hanging out. It's probably covered in pollen now. And I'll start sneezing. So let me just hang that on the end of the camera there, so it doesn't get dirty. We've got my 3M mask is standing by to be worn because they've got a special offer at the moment on the Linda McCartney stuff. Oh yes, dear. The Linda McCartney sausages, you get 6 in a box, £1.19. And also the Linda McCartney burgers, both sorts. That's the normal ones and the ones injected with mozzarella cheese. £1.19, 109, or is it 109? It's either 109 or 119, which is about half the price they normally are. So very good value. So I'm going to go down to a Lidl on my bike a little bit later on. Of course, if there's a queue outside, I won't go in. And I'll have to pay with my card. I'm almost out of cash. I've got 10 quid left. I've got £10 cash in the house now. So if you were thinking of burgling me, pointless. No cash left. It's all gone. It's all gone. Nothing left. Very poor. Have to use the card. It's going to have to come out of the bank. Never been done before. I don't know how to do it. What do you do? You know? And I might have to ask for cash back. Cash back. I've never done that. Could I have cash back, please? Or they asked, didn't they? Do they still ask if you want it? Always standing beside some old bag at the till, didn't you? Oh, could I have cash back? And then you start looking, start tutting loudly. Tut, tut, tut. I noticed how dirty my windows are. Can't believe it. I only done them a little while ago. And I haven't seen my window cleaner, Mark. But I usually pay him cash, you see. And I haven't got any cash at the moment, so I don't know if he does like bank transfer. I'd also need my solar panels done as well. I could send him a little message, say, could you come round and do these things? You know, I'd rather not keep social distancing with him. He's quite nice, actually, Mark. So I must get my windows done as well. Okay, couple of you have asked, we want to see your garden again. So I've put this little video together, which again I'd done this morning. Have a little look around my garden. My garden doesn't have an awful lot of colour coming up at any one time, if you see what I mean. There tends to be a bit coming up right throughout the sort of season, and even in the winter I've got winter roses. But there's the rhododendron, one of the rhododendrons at the moment. This is the back garden, incidentally. Okay, so that's just coming into flower. It's beautiful, that is. That's about 2 years old. Lots more buds here waiting to come up, nice and yellow. Very pretty. I try and keep the lalandi fairly cut back, as you can see. Got to do the hedge over there at the moment. All right, that's all sticking up a bit. And I have to keep particular attention to this particular bush because once that gets too big, I can't see the telly because it grows in between the signal of the satellite and feeding down into the telly there. So I'll have to cut that down. I usually leave it until the picture starts going funny, then I cut it down a bit. This is the area that I like to leave to grow fairly wild here. You see, there's quite a lot of different plants in there. One is about to flower. This, now what was it? Peony. I don't know how you say it actually. There's a peony there, and that is about to flower. I've actually got 2 more in that I bought this week. You see those 2 areas there? That little bit of earth there, and that little bit of earth there. So there's another 2 in there. We've got these little blue things. Oh, which it looks like the slugs like. Can you see a slug on there? Look, it's munching away. Don't seem to be doing too much damage, so I'll leave that. What else we got here? Oh yes, these are the everlasting geraniums. Can you see the pink things there? I have pink ones. Now they are the ones that I've planted all in the communal area at the front some years ago now. And there's so many of them now. They grow like weeds now, to be honest. You can get blue ones as well, but I haven't got many blue ones, which are lovely colour they are. Yeah, what else we got here is a picture of all my washing hanging out. Oh, these are the chair covers. These are the chair covers I said to you that were quite soiled because cats have been sitting them all over the year. Now I've washed them. Generally, they've come out all right, as you can see, except this one. You see, that's still a bit soiled there. Now I could try it in a hotter wash, I suppose, but that might shrink it, and they're already a little bit shrunk. They're kind of on their last legs. Do you know, it's not... Do you reckon that's what... See, that's all... See where the cats have scratched it, bless them. Yeah, that's probably when you stretch it out, you can see it's much dirtier than the other ones. That's where the cat scratched it, where they tried to get away, where I was force stroking them. Anyway, so that's the peony, I think it's called there. These are hibiscus bushes that are growing. Again, some years old there. That would be purple flowers. Actually, there's one purple flower just appearing there now. You see that? That would be covered in like tall purple flowers. And I do like to let that grow wild, so to speak. Some people, they like perfectly cut lawns and all that business. I don't like that. I really don't. I think it doesn't look like natural, if you see what I mean. Don't know what this thing is, but it's got pretty little things there. Oh. Whitey flowers there. Little pink things, they're just coming into flower there. They come back every year, those. Don't have to do anything to them. They last all through the winter and they just come back. Look, pretty little things there. They're going to be pinky, I think they're called pinks. I don't think they're carnations, pinks. And they just open. They look very much like carnations. They're about to flower. Little bit of rhubarb there. That's a hostas. I've just moved that, actually. That used to be right over in the corner here. You remember the bluebell bulbs I bought? Right, so I've put those here. Oh, it's my shadow. Me and my shadow. Okay, so they're all in this bit here. I doubt they come up now. They're a little bit too late. It's probably too warm for them to come up now. That's another peony, which I've just put in a different place there. This little thing full of white flowers that's gone now. They smelt lovely. Going up my tree here, love this tree. I love this tree. Is a passion flower, and look at it. It's growing right the way up. Look at that. It's going up and up and up. That is. So it's got to there. Okay, and then coming round to the side. Here's my plants on the side here. Various different things. I can't remember what's here. That doesn't flower. It's probably in the wrong place, and the leaves seem to get burnt somehow. Don't know why, but it's been in there some years and hasn't died, so it can't be that unhappy with it. That's the thing that's grown right up the tree. That's gone out of my fence. This is covered in white flowers. It's one of the first things to flower. Don't know what it is. My neighbour gave me a small cutting, which I put in a few years ago now, and it's gone mad. Look at it. Right? Not only that, if you look carefully, it's jumped across my fence, over the hedge on the outside of my fence, and look at that. That's going right up the tree. Look at that. gets to about, so that's about, I would say that's about 20 foot up now, something like that. And it all flowers white. Beautiful, that is. There's a hydrangea there. Looks like it's going to flower well this year. Can you see the little buds on there? See them in the middle there, the little knobbly things? Hydrangea there. We've got one single lily there. No lily beetles, I hope. Nope, can't see any on there. That's one of those pink, really fragrant ones. Little blue thing here. That looks like it's nearly finished flowering now. I don't know what that's called again. Got some yellow roses there. My garden doesn't do too well for roses. Don't know why. Need to cut some of the dead ones off now though. And then we'll get some more. Another perini there. They're so easy to grow, those. They really are. And they just keep coming back. Hey, yeah, that's about the flower, look. Although not many buds on that yet. Oh, here's the wisteria. I haven't showed you the wisteria yet, have I? This is just finishing the flowering, okay? That needs to be trained now, because that's coming right the way forward. And the wisteria goes right the way along there. Just up there, you can see the jasmine is now flowering. And I wish you could smell it, to be honest. It's a beautiful smell. Really, really nice smell. Sorry, that sun's in there, isn't it? There's that one. And it goes across there as well, you see. Among all my washing. This, got to tell you this. This, right, was a little cutting that I, shall we say, borrowed from someone's garden as I was walking past it. And it was a massive bush. Massive bush. So I took a little cutting of about that big from there to there. Okay, that is only 3 years old. Look at it. And I have to keep cutting that down. It needs cutting down now, actually. Again, that's just about to go out of flower. Little red and white flowers. A couple of random... Oh, what are they called now? I can't remember what they call. Foxgloves. A couple of random foxgloves have just appeared in the garden. Usually I'd mow that bit, but I noticed these were coming up. And they held their leaves right the way through the winter. They were kind of at a very low level, and suddenly they've sprung up. Look at that. And they will be beautiful. Haven't planted those. Didn't even plant them. They just appeared. I have had these before in other parts of the garden in pots, but they've obviously laid down their seeds and come up like that. And this is the other jasmine that's climbing up there. And you can see where the wisteria, it's gone right along there. And now that's going up there. Okay, I may have to take a little bit of action and stop that going up too high because we don't want that affecting the roof. And there is a little tour of my back garden. Oh yes, I wanted to show you this as well. Look at this here. This is just randomly growing as well, in between the paving. That's been in yellow flower for about 3 weeks. Keeps flowering. Isn't that lovely? That thing there, was that everything? I'll show you this side of the tree. One he bought me a hanging basket over the other day. There it is. I hung that up there. You see the solar panel's gone now that I wasn't using anymore. A couple of pretty butterflies going up the tree. The hosta, incidentally, that should throw up spikes of white flowers. It's very pretty when it comes up. And finally, this bush here, which is again not flowering yet, but loads and loads of buds on this. Right, look at those. Loads and loads of buds all over that. And that's white flowers with red blotches. So, that's it. A little view of my garden and, of course, washing as well. Nice clean socks. Yes, please. I'll do the front garden as well at some point as well for you to see. The front garden actually has more flowers than the back garden at the moment, but a couple of different rhododendron bushes out there that I've put in the communal area, and you see what I've done out there. So we'll do that in a couple of days as well, all right? Well, before we go back up to the studio, let's read you a couple of stories here. Captain Tom Moore, very, very pleased to hear this story going. Captain Tom Moore, this is in the Sun this morning, is to be knighted for his inspirational 100th birthday walk that raised £39 million for the NHS. I feel another TikTok video coming here. I feel another TikTok video coming on here. Oh, someone sent in a TikTok video as well. I haven't checked that. Let me leave that for tomorrow's show. Whoever sent in that TikTok video, I've just remembered that now. I'll check that for tomorrow's show, all right, to see if we can show that. If there's any music on it, someone else's music, I won't be able to play it. But I notice you can often get away with the comedy clips that you might have borrowed off the telly, so I don't know about that one. Anyway, the 100-year-old World War II veterans' knighthood was announced by Downing Street on Monday night. Blooming great news this is, and there's a few pictures of... There he is, bless him. Look at that. What an amazing man. And so he should blooming well have a knighthood. Not these so-called Z-list celebrities, dear. People like that. There's also a picture of him in the army as a young man there. Okay? Oh, this is wonderful news, isn't it? It was approved by the Queen. She wouldn't have said no, would she, to that one? Having been personally recommended and fast-tracked by Boris. The gong is the first of dozens for the heroes of the debilitating crisis the sun can also reveal. The government is to issue special honours, a list in the autumn, to recognise everyone who has performed with distinction throughout it, is expected to be dominated by NHS staff, and the public will be able to nominate specific individuals who cared for them. All right, so I hope you're watching this programme and know what a caring, nice person I am. And I hope soon to be invited by the Queen there to attend and get some sort of some sort of award there. All right, what's the other little news story I had here lined up? Just a second there. There we are. Oh, hang on. Not very good on this iPad. I need to use it a little bit more. This is about 3 years old, this is. Nice case, isn't it? I dropped this once. 240 quid. Honestly, for a new screen. There's a new law today. Now get ready, boys and girls. You don't want to be ill now in hospital. Very dangerous. They're going to rip the organs out of you if they need them. Yes, in the Daily Mail. I'm sure this happens in China. I think people go in for various operations and they don't wake up. Why? They've had their organs ripped out of them by someone rich who needs a new kidney. Dreadful. In the Daily Mail this morning, patients awaiting transplants have hailed a game-changing new law, which from today means that every adult is automatically considered an organ donor. Now, you remember that. Next time in hospital, when those doctors are looking you up and down, they could be sizing you up to rip out one of your lungs. You won't know, will you? How will you know? I mean, has anyone had an organ removed? My Auntie Brenda had a kidney removed years ago. You know, when you've had something removed, does it feel like there's a gap there? Or do you feel sort of lighter? So if, you know, obviously if you've got two lungs and you have one lung removed, you start walking like that for a while. Or perhaps it's a kidney on the other side, you know, you might be walking like that for a while. Is that how it works? I mean, do you go, oh, there's something missing there. I feel a gap. Or what do they put in there? They must put something else in there, don't they? I don't know how it works. Anyway, that doctor would be looking you up and down, wondering if one of your organs is available for someone who's paid him like £20,000 who needs a new one, dear. Terrible. It says, under the legislation, everyone in England will be deemed to have given consent for their organs to be donated when they die, unless they specifically opt out or are in an excluded group. Hello? Excluded group? Yes. They won't want mine. There's a little bit of problem with my blood, so there won't be one in mine. It's believed this method will lead to an additional 700 transplants each year by 2023. The new legislation is known as the Max and Kira's Law, after the death of a poor little 9-year-old Kira Bell saved the life of Max Johnson, also 9 and 3 other people. Wow. Wow, poor little girl. Was it a little girl there? Kira. Is that a girl's... I don't know if that's a girl's name or a boy's name, actually. Kira's father allowed doctors to lose her organs for transplants following a car crash in 2017. The new law comes into force from today, although Health Minister Lord Bethell has admitted the system, in the Daily Mail, could be delayed due to the crisis at the moment. So there we are. Next time you could be just going into hospital. You could just going in there, I don't know, for an ingrowing toenail or something like that. We're just going to put you out for a little while. And then if you're lucky, you'll wake up. If you're lucky, you'll wake up and you'll get up and you'll be leaning to one side because they've nicked one of your kidneys. Right? Oh, for Christ's sake, lighten up, will ya? Stop being so miserable and laugh. It's supposed to be comedy. If you don't find it funny, go and watch something else. End of that. Right. Okay, let's go into the studio and straight to some of your messages. Hello. You see all the hard work that goes into this programme, dear? All the hard work. Hours I was doing that, dear. Hours. All the rehearsals and that to go with it. Jason said, did we go to see your shed repair? No, you didn't, did you? I should have done that. I completely forgot about my professional shed repair. So I need to do that at some point. Thank you, Jason. Just keep reminding me until I do that. Not today. Don't do stupid things like keep posting the same messages like certain people on here, darling. All right, my love. Okay, Jason, I'll do that for you. Claire says, you don't mean to say you stole part of your neighbour's plant. After all, you said the other day about not nicking stuff. Yeah, don't nick things, Claire. Very dangerous. Don't want to get caught, my love. Don't get caught. Where are we? Daniel Woodhouse. We're tomorrow at a spot on Gardener's World, perhaps. I doubt that. I'm not a gardener. If I was a gardener, everything would be perfect and people go... Do you know, people actually go out and measure the length of their grass blades. They seriously do. They go out with a little measuring thing and measure so that everything is... Why would you do that? Hello to Fun Things to Do with Tech. Morning to you. All you need is Charlie Dimmock and a McCartney. No, thank you. I saw her yesterday. Funnily enough, you should mention her. I saw her on the telly. Oh, dear. She's let herself go, that one, hasn't she, darling? Dear. I mean, for Christ's sake, do something with your hair, dear. What does she look like? I think she should give her that up, dear. Come on, someone pretty on there. I don't know, like Gemma Collins could do that, couldn't she? Gardening. Can you imagine the dents in the ground as she'd be walking around, dear? Charlie Dimmock and McCartney on a deck chair, but I think like Tommy Walsh to make him hot and sticky. I don't know about that. Oh, incidentally, I was talking about another video there. Hello, Dan. I just see Dan there. I've managed to put it on here while that was happening. I've put it on the system. So we got Dan's video to see today as well. What did I ask for? 15 likes? We've got them already. Okay, I'll come to those as soon as I've done the messages here. All right, my loves, we're already... I think I said 15 likes, didn't I? No, that's enough. So I'll be showing you a picture and a film from Dan S. that he sent in a little while ago. He just did a little TikTok video. Diane loved the garden. Thank you very much. I like to leave wild bits as well in mine for the insects and birds. I always leave the grass a bit longer behind my fruit trees for the frogs to have some shade. Yeah, I get frogs occasionally in my garden. And I know, and the cat knows as well. I haven't got a cat, but there's a cat. Right? There's two cats that come in my garden. A beautiful black cat and a beautiful ginger cat. Both come in my garden, but they won't let me go near them. They run off as soon as they see me. But at night, the black cat, I've noticed, because it doesn't seem to notice if I'm in the kitchen with the door closed, right? And I look out the window and it sits just by the kitchen door. That's where it sits. And it watches where my water butts are. Now, I've found frogs behind my water butts before. So I reckon it's watching for those. It's a lovely cat. My sister says I need to tempt it with treats. I've got to go about some of those Dreamers. Maybe I'll go and get some of those when I go to Lidl a little bit later on. Thank you. It's honeysuckle going mad. No, I don't think it is, Claire. Honeysuckle is a different flower. You couldn't see the flowers because they're gone now. It's a different flower. I do have a honeysuckle at the moment, which I cut down years ago. Somehow, it's now outside of my fence, climbing up another tree. I'll try and remember to do a little video of that because they're more like yellowy, whitey flowers. These flowers on that have already been and gone, so that would have been too early for a honeysuckle, I think, with that leaf there. Perhaps I'll show you the leaves. Peter Wright liked the garden there. The new Alan Titchmarsh, that's me. The new Alan Titchmarsh. Thank you, Gavin. Glad you like that. Mornings of Porn and Lou. A lot of large plants. Well, some of them have been there a long time now, you see. That's the thing. When you put these plants in to a bed or something like that, you think, oh, there's not much there. And then you start putting more in, forgetting that they will grow. And they've grown very big. Some of them, I suppose, you can... I don't like cutting plants down. I just like to let them go, you know? And you get more or a sort of more natural effect. The hosta, which is now in front of the tree, I've just moved that. That used to be behind the fence. But you couldn't really see it. What's the point in having a big plant like that if you can't see it? So that's why they're so big. They're quite a few years old, some of those plants. Rachel, I'm glad you enjoyed the tour of the garden, and Gavin Bass as well. Andy, good morning, Andy. We're going to have a look at Andy's plants, Andy's picture in a moment. Good morning to James Humble, enjoying the garden there as well. What's that about? What's that there? Children being abused. What's that? I'm sorry, I'm working backwards, so it's obviously replying to something else. Guess his music is great. Oh, you talking about Michael Jackson there by any chance? Let's go back a bit further. Why put the satellite dish there? Because on the other side of the house, the trees are in the way. So that was the only place it could see the satellite from. That's why it's there, Mick. Separate the man from the music. Oh, I want to find out what this is here. Let's have a look. Michael Jackson. Okay, you're talking about Michael Jackson there. Yeah. Who brought that up then? Go and see Thriller live. Oh, that does actually look quite an interesting thing to go and see. It's at Skegness. Oh, you went to Skegness to watch it. Okay. Is that a film or a theatre production type thing? Or is it these hologram things are becoming quite big now, aren't they? I know they had a Whitney Houston one going around, I think. Let's scroll up there. Oh, no. It's talking about the caravans there. Park Nest. The same storage for my touring caravan. Still have to pay the storage fee regardless. Well, I mean, they're running a business, aren't they? Like I say to you, my caravan site has been open since April. So I could have gone up there if I wanted. It's there. You pay for it to be there, not to actually be there, if you see what I mean. If you're not using it, that's down to you. Is that everyone? Everyone just talking to each other there. I think they're scrolling back up there. Okay. Claire loves the hostas as well. The slugs get mine. Do you not put your little blue things around, Claire? As soon as the leaves start showing, I put the blue things down, and they don't get eaten then. You just found sort of dead snails all over the place. I really don't suffer with snuffer. I really don't seem to suffer with snails at all anymore, because over the years, every year I put a few down, not massive amounts, but a few down. I had 3 cats. I used to put them down when the cats were around. I've never found like a dead bird or a dead cat or anything like that due to the little blue things I put down, and I really have put them over the years. And when I first came here, there were armies. I mean, out of the front of the house in particular, there were armies of snails and slugs that used to come over the path and start eating my stuff. Literally. Hundreds of the things. Well, of course, over the years, you keep putting the stuff down. But I think I've got rid of them all. I hardly see one at all now. Same with the lily beetles. Lily beetles as well. Lily beetles and snails, you need to take action immediately. Beautiful. Some gardeners say with the hostas, they are sometimes used as plants to attract the slugs and snails too, so that don't eat your other stuff. I saw it. Funnily enough, I saw a lily beetle on another plant the other day. Wasn't eating it. I think with the spray I put on the lilies, they don't like the taste of that, so they're looking for something else now. They'll starve to death anyway now. I don't think you need to crush them anymore, to be honest. Daniel's having... What's he got? Carling Black Label bingo books. He's bought some Carling Black Label bingo books. Alrighty. Just a reminder about... Oh, the new prizes have arrived. I'm going to show you those in a minute. Don't go too far. The new prizes have arrived, gang. Excellent. Mick's got the clock. Is it all right? Has it arrived all right? Oh, that's quick, isn't it? I posted that, as you say, Monday afternoon. Of course I use the medication envelope. I recycle stuff, don't you? If you're going out buying new envelopes every time, well, more for you then, sunshine. But recycle what comes through the post. Your Amazon boxes, medication things, anything like that. I don't care where it's come from. Don't care. And if you get the virus, unlucky. You should have washed your hands a bit more then, shouldn't you? Hello, there's Simon Steele sending in a £2 super chat this morning, boys and girls. And I shall now give you 2 free pink wrap. Wouldn't that be sad, Simon, if you win the clock and Shania doesn't? Oh, I will laugh so much. 209 and 210 for you, Simon. Now, what are these raffle tickets for? If you're new to the show and you're wondering, as most of you know, you can send a super chat now and again if you want to. Any amount at all. And that's always grateful. For every £1 super chat that you send as a tip, thank you very much. There you go. I will give you a free raffle ticket. All right. So if you send me a £1 super chat, I'll give you a free raffle ticket. If you send me a £10 super chat, I'll give you 10 free raffle tickets. All right. You can't buy all the raffle tickets. You can't say, "Can I buy some raffle tickets?" Not allowed. Okay. But if you send a tip, I will give you the raffle tickets completely free of charge for you. And what are these for? Well, we have a super chatter raffle once a week on a Thursday morning now. It's a different prize every week. This week's prize is a United Kingdom talk clock. Okay, someone will win that tomorrow morning, and you see it all happening here. There's no funny business. These are the super chat tickets. There they are. There's not too many of them, actually. Not too many of them in there. There's never as many as in the normal raffle. Okay, and that's what that's for tomorrow. And that is the last clock I've got at the moment. I won't be getting any of those too soon because we've got other stuff coming in. And Shania's gone into competition with her dad now, has she? 211. Oh, that's funny. 211 and 212 for Shania there. Thank you, darling. There we are. Hang on a minute, let me write these down. Shania, there we go. There we are. All right, Shania, 211 and 212 for Shania there. Okay, darling. There we go. In the little jar over there. Is that the Arkwright Teal? No, that would be copywritten by the BBC. I belong to a music and sound effects site called Epidemic Sounds. And for £10 a month, that covers all my copyright issues. And they link it with the YouTube, so you never have an issue. This was advised by my brother-in-law, who belongs to that as well. And he mentioned that you might have a bit of trouble with some of the music that you use. So I use everything comes from Epidemic Sounds now. And that sorts it off. Okay. Bless Shania's desperate for the clock. I know you are, darling. I think Show is who's the other one who's buying a lot of tickets? I think it's Sean, actually. I think Sean Pye's buying a load of tickets as well. They're sat in the car competing. Are you really? Of course the clock works. What do you mean the clock actually works? How rude are you? The clock actually. Of course it does. Sorry, I can't send. Not allowed to send batteries through the post. Apparently, I didn't know that unless they come from like a large company, and I don't know why that is. But for some reason, you're not. I was told you're not allowed to send batteries in the post at all. So that's why there's no battery with it. All right. Sorry about that. It's a clock, so never on time and always slow. Shall we show you these pictures now? Thanks very much for your likes this morning, boys and girls. Much appreciated. Oh, 21 now. Didn't ask for 21, but thank you very much. Very kind of you. So, first of all, we've got a picture as sent in by Andy. It's quite clever. He's got a little email to go. Let's bring the picture up. It is of me, I'm afraid. Sorry to disappoint you. Thank you, Colin. If I can just do that in a moment. All right, Colin. Thanks very much. Colin's sending a £3 tip as well. I'll just sort you out 3 raffle tickets. Just give me a second, Colin, while I do this email as kindly sent in by young Andy. If I can just find that. Good morning to Maureen, just joining us this evening on a large screen television. Morning, Maureen. Where's Andy's email gone? There it is. Andy writes, "Hi, Chris. Been looking... Here, let's bring up the picture. There you go. It is of me, I'm afraid. Sorry. There you go.
Morning, gang.
No, that's not
actually,
it.
I don't know what the date is.
We've done that, haven't we? There we are. Sorry. Oh, no, not that. No, not that. Dear me. Wrong buttons. Andy sent in a picture. That's it there. And he says, "Hi, Chris. Been looking into photography art and thought you might like to show this on your show today. Hope you like it." That's pretty good, isn't it? Interesting colours there. Nice colours as well. Nice bright colours there. So thanks very much to Andy for sending that in today. Thank you, Andy. Very clever. Is it like an app, or is it something you've done on your sort of on your mobile phone or something like that? Is it? Very clever. I think it's done some other pictures as well. I'm sure I was looking around. I don't know where I saw them. Where, perhaps on your, was it on your TikTok or something like that? I was looking around and I saw more pictures that you'd done there. Thank you, Colin. I'll give you free raffle tickets there, okay? 213 to 215, and there's your names written on the back of those. For the Super Chatter raffles, you don't need to remember the numbers, okay? I will read you the name and the number tomorrow on the show when we do the draw for the clock, okay? Parkness quite rightly says the clock will be right twice a day. Yes, indeed. Painting outside, oof, not for me, I'm afraid. I did have a little accident yesterday, actually. I don't. Are you all competing for this clock or something? Gosh, Diane, you're not going to miss that money, are you, Diane? Please, I mean, if you know, I've said this before. I don't know everyone's financial situations on here. I can guess some people's, to be honest. But please don't send money that you'd miss. I'd hate that, you know, if you can. If I don't know how you are there, Diane, but you know, if you you suddenly come up and say, oh, it's lovely, you know, I didn't win the raffle, but don't worry, I'll be eating again in 3 days' time. You know, I'd hate that. Don't do that, all right, Diane. Let's just do Diane's tickets there. I can read out messages as well. While I'm still owed you a £5 for the teas. Oh, on and on about these bleeding teas. Honestly. Next time you come to church, I'll buy you teas, cakes and everything, dear. Oh, I can't bear it. And a special meet and greet with the priest. The canon. His meet and greet is probably a little bit more than yours because we've got a canon, you see, not just a priest. His meet and greets are about £25. You get 5 minutes with him. And for an extra £25 for the meet and greet with Canon Simon. For an extra £5, you get absolved of your minor sins without even having to go to confession. And if you've performed a murder or something like that, you can get forgiven for that. That's now £350 plus VAT. Do not ask him to do it without the VAT. Do not go to Canon Simon and say, could you absolve me from committing murders? There's £350. Can I pay cash so I can avoid the VAT? He will go spare. He wouldn't be able to sleep at night because he's not a lawbreaker like that. Please don't take the mick out of Canon Simon. You know, do you know what? He's got a wonderful sense of humour. I have a feeling if I said these things to him, he'd just stand there and laugh. You remember Father David, who you met, right? He came. I was having a cup of tea after playing the organ once. We were just having chats and things like that, and it came onto the subject of pop music. And I said, "There's your tickets, Diane. Can I just show you your tickets there? There's all your tickets, and they go straight in there now. All right, my love. There you go, Diane Jebb's tickets there." Okay, thank you very much for the £10 tip. That's very kind of you. Very kind. Very nice of you. All right. Father David was saying about changing the words to pop songs and things like that, and perhaps, integrating it into the mass, and so that it becomes a little bit holy, but with pop tunes, anything like "I Would Be So Lucky." And he's we're talking about this, having a little bit of a giggle. But then I came out with, I said, well, I think we should go the whole route. And he looked at me, he said, well, what do you mean? I said, well, take, for example, you could have Gloria Gaynor, "I Will Survive," change that to, religious words, but go the whole hog. He said, well, what do you mean? I said, well, at the point when I started playing the organ, you could push a button, a mirror ball could drop down from the top of the boat, and then he ran off. He ran off giggling. Seriously, he did. He ran off giggling. He couldn't handle that one. I think it's at that point a light might have gone on his head. Peter Wright's just give me a £1 tip. Thank you, Peter. Let me give you a raffle ticket to say thank you for that. Pink raffle ticket number 226 for Peter Wright. 226 for Peter Wright. It's not vicars. No, we don't have vicars, Mick. There's no vicars in the church, dear. You got the wrong church, dear. We have priests and canons, dear. Canons. Shania, even though she's head of the Catholic Church on the Isle of Wight, they only have a priest. No canon there. We have a canon. He has been elevated. Elevated. It's not vicar. It's not vicar. Naughty word alert. Who said naughty word? I didn't say a naughty word, did I? Did I say a naughty word? Mirrorball? Did I say a naughty word then? I'm sure I didn't. Tell me what naughty word I said. It probably won't come up. I'm sure I didn't say a naughty word. Bingo is not going to be the same with no clock, I guess. Well, I don't know about that. Look! Look what we got! We got the new United Kingdom Talk mugs. Oh, I should have done that with a drum roll. Never mind. Should have done that with a drum roll. We have the brand new United Kingdom Talk mugs. Check these out, bitches. There you are. Now, it's a bit difficult to see on the camera. Let's try this. What's that one there? 1, 2. Is it this one? Ah, that's it. Right, bit difficult to see there. But those black lines, oh, it goes out of focus if I get too close, doesn't it? See those black lines? You can just about see the writing. Now, the black lines say, I'm a Chris Reardon winner, right? And here it says, UK lockdown 2020. Now, we have quite a few of these, but when they're gone, they'll be gone. Like most stuff, once it's gone, it's gone. Well, the pens are also being done as we speak. The pens should be with me in a couple of weeks' time. We've got brand new winner pens, which we'll be getting for the some of the bingo prizes as well. But there you go. This is I'm a Chris Reardon winner. Now, as it says I'm a Chris Reardon winner, these are not available to buy. You've got to win them. Okay? And I'll tell you where these are going to go. These are going to go for the main bingo prize. Okay? It's just on one side. The other side is white. The bloke did say, do you want it printed on both sides? And I thought, no, I don't. I don't think I want it printed on both sides. Okay? I wouldn't put them in a dishwasher. I've noticed a lot of stuff I've got, which has had like what do you say, impregnated? What would be the impregnated onto that? I think that's probably the wrong word, isn't it? Oh dear. Where they've had a photo impregnated onto the mug, and I've put stuff in a dishwasher, often it comes off. Not these ones, other ones that I've bought or been given over the years. So I personally wouldn't put them in a dishwasher, wash them inside with a bit of sponge. Don't be so blooming lazy. Get your hands wet for a change. But there we are. So it's just a picture on the one side, and that's it. The new mugs are available. You will be able to win these as a bingo main prize. We'll probably now and again put them in the Super Chatters raffle as well. And also the Super Draw raffle that we do once a month. Okay? So that's how you'll be able to win one of those. Either at the bingo, sometimes on the Super Chatters raffle. I'll probably put one in the Super Chatters raffle next week, actually, one of those. All right? I'll probably do that. Or the Super Draw raffle, which we do once a month. All right? So I hope you like those. Shania has already got one of these, and not one of these. We did mugs many, many years ago when we sort of hadn't been doing the well, we had been doing the show quite a while, but there wasn't nowhere near as many people as we are joining into our little bit of fun every morning. So she's already got one already. But I hope you like those. I hope you like those anyway. Hope you like those. Just something new, something different. The reason there are so many people watching now is a big thank you, as I often do, to my brother-in-law, Martin, who mentioned it on his show, and he has thousands of viewers. I mean, thousands and thousands of viewers. Does a completely different thing to me, and he kept mentioning when he was doing live streams, doesn't do them anymore. And that's when we picked up the numbers, and then that was on a particular day. I can look at the graph if I want to, and it suddenly goes like this on this day. And then, of course, as people think, oh, we don't really like that, and it goes and it comes down like that, and it settles down, you see. And now it's kind of going up a little bit at a time. Yeah, if you want to watch things like that, I don't really refer to it too much, and that's why so many people watching, because of what Martin mentioned some time ago there. Fran wants one. Thank you, Fran. What's that little sign there, James? Are they like, I don't know what that is. James has sent some icons, but I don't know what they are. Are they like rashers of bacon or rainbows or something? I don't know what they are. It would make a good garden planter. We're gonna, if you drill holes in the bottom, it will do. I'd like to drill a hole in your head, to be honest, Mick. Mug for your workshop there, Jason. If I win that mug, it will go next to my Wills and Kate mug. Thank you, Andy. If you don't mind me saying, Andy, if you do win the mug, I'd like you to move your Wills and Kate mug to the side. If you don't mind me saying. Thank you. Rachel wants one. Thank you, Rachel. Now, I got to say, I know the clocks are a little bit dear, so I can kind of understand people sending sometimes larger super chats than they would normally do. I do get that. These mugs are nowhere near as expensive as the clocks were to get made. Okay, so just bear that in mind when that becomes a super chatter prize, which is probably next week. Okay, just bear that in mind. Don't start sending like 10, 20, 30 quid unless you really, really want to. Don't start sending that, because they're not worth nothing. All it is a picture that's of the Union Jack. So just bear that in mind, Mark Baldwin, morning, Mark, used to go nun watching in Italy. What's that? What's nun watching in Italy? I don't know what that is. Michael doesn't think we're winning the clock tomorrow. You never know. You never know. My hand will go in there and you'll be able to see it all happening. It might be your ticket that comes out. You never know, Michael. It's the same as the lottery. The more people that buy the lottery, the less chance you have of winning it. It's just the way it works, isn't it? What was my naughty word? I'm dying to know. I'm sure I haven't. Oh, naughty word, as in Vickers. Yes, very bad word. Very, very bad word. All right. Now, we've got a little video to show you now. This is from Daniel Smith. He was with us earlier. I've got a feeling he's gone now. But nevertheless, I'll show it to you. It's a very, very short video. One of Daniel Smith's TikTok videos where he's doing the mouth, the lip syncing to something. Have a watch of this.
What are your plans for the rest of the year?
Eat bread and desserts and just get all fat and sassy.
Thank you very much, Daniel. We do like a little bit of comedy. If you're still there, do let us know this morning, all right? Anything you want to send in, as always, send it through, gang. My email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, and in exchange for likes, where do that on. All right? Okay, oh, there's Dan there. There you go. Just showed you your video there, Dan. Very good. Looking sassy. Looking very sassy there, Dan. Mark, me and my ex would have a competition to see who could spot nuns. Italy was the best place. Very good indeed. Apologies that I did notice on that video, the video I did earlier, on the inserts where I was showing you the garden and the other bit, that the audio quality does drop. That's because basically I turned the camera around, and it does drop when you turn the camera around. I've got a little microphone that I would usually wear there. Unfortunately, I left it up at our Lincolnshire television studio complex in a little drawer there. So I haven't got any of that stuff down here with me at the moment. So that's the best quality we could make of that. All right. Now, here's something. Now, I didn't know you could actually buy these. I discovered this device. I think it was a tweet or something like that. Did I save the story? Oh, how stupid! I didn't save the story. I didn't save the story. Two inventions here that I've discovered. If you have a heart problem at all, did you know you can get like a measuring thing? Now, I'm not talking about the app that most phones have got, because you can. Certainly on my iPhone, I can touch this and it tells you your heart rate and a few other little bits of pieces. Well, you can get an actual heart monitor thing. Here, look at this, which I found, and it directed us towards Amazon. Now, where are we? Heart thing, there we are. Look at that. You can actually buy an ECG monitor, handheld thing, and it tells you what comes up on your smartphone. Isn't that good? Not cheap. 80 quid, 90 quid there. You can actually buy an ECG heart monitor. And if you look at the top one there, you see those two metal things, right? You put one thumb on each metal thing, and then it shows you a graph on your iPhone, obviously your heart rate and some other little bits and pieces. So I would imagine with the amount of people here, I expect one or two of you got problems with your hearts and things like that. That might be a little thing to perhaps think about. Maybe I'm just completely out of touch there, and that stuff has been around for ages. I don't know, maybe some of you on the NHS, where they give out various machines to people in various forms of disability and what have you there. But that could be useful to someone. I've just thought I'd show that to you because I've just come across that today. I thought, I didn't know you'd get one of those. And there's another invention. It's a very short story on the NBC website this morning. Inventors have now developed a mask to let you eat and stay safe. Oh, yes. Inventors developed a coronavirus mask that lets you eat without taking it off. Here's how it works. You squeeze a lever. You squeeze a lever and it opens a slot so you can go at it like Pac-Man. So you're sitting there with your mask and you push. There's a picture of it. I can't show you the picture. Oh, yes, I can. I can show you the picture. Of course I can. It's a bit dim, actually, that picture on there. Let's take a picture of that and show you. It's hilarious. You push this lever and it opens and you shove your food in. Like the ghosts on Pac-Man do when they eat something. Yeah, you can see that. Hang on. Let's just bring that up there. There we are. It's a bit dim. A little bit like myself, to be honest. There we are. Look at that. I'm not being funny, but if the mask opens like that, what's the blooming point of having it on in the first place? I wonder how much they are. Inventors developed a coronavirus mask that lets you eat without taking it off. Here's how it works. You squeeze a lever and it opens a slot so you can go at it like Pac-Man. Inventors say the mask lets you dine out with friends without actually having to take your mask off. But then you're opening your mouth, aren't you? You're opening your mouth. Dear me. Mick wants one of those gadgets. Perhaps we'll have that as a super chatter prize in a couple of weeks. You never know, Mick. Andy saw it on television this morning. The guy looked like Zippy from Rainbow. Up above the streets and houses, rainbow flying high. That one. We love Rainbow. We love Rainbow. Incidentally, a very good morning to our silent viewers. I haven't said hello to you today, have you? Those of you sitting on the side that don't join in the chat box, a very good morning to you. I think, yes, as I was mentioning right at the beginning of the show there, in the garden, I've taken the timer thing off now. And as I say, the whole point of that was to try and slow down the messages for me to keep up. Well, as I don't refer to the messages now while we're doing stories, because that's just absolutely pointless doing that, because you lose the thread of the story. I've said this so many times before, you just lose the story. Then you come back to it and you think, oh, where was I with that? And then people get confused and then you just never get to it, So we wait until I've done all the stories and then we come into your messages. So it's pointless having the timer thing on there now, so that's why we've come out of that. All right, my loves. Why not just take the mask off when eating? Exactly. Is it just pointless? That's probably one of the most pointless things I've ever seen in my entire life. Other than me sitting here like this. I mean, I'm pretty pointless as well, aren't I? Let's be honest, I am. That's how it is. Another story in The Sun today, talking about eating things, KFC. Now, here's a question for you. Ever bought a takeaway and found something that shouldn't be in the takeaway, perhaps? Anything at all? And what was it? Years and years ago, I think it was about 15 at the time, went to the chip shop and I'm eating these chips and I thought, and found something crispy in there. It wasn't a chip, and I picked this up. It was a fried worm. I kid you not. That was at, I don't know if Martin and Sharon are watching, that was from Nick's Fish and Chip Shop up the High Street in Roehampton. It was a fried worm. Probably wouldn't have done you any harm if you ate it, but nevertheless, something you wouldn't expect to find in your chips, isn't it? Anyway, as a boy would do, chucked it away and Just carried on eating the chips. I didn't throw them away. Morning to Tony Hood this morning. Morning to you. Mick's taking full advantage of moaning. We'll let him moan as much as he wants. I didn't say I was going to read them all out, did I? Well, what would be the point of that? Sitting here reading just messages all the time. In the Sun, a mum was left horrified after finding feathers poking out of her son's KFC hot wings. I mean, what planet is this woman on? Where do you think the feathers came from, dear? The chicken that you're eating. It's just a few feathers. Take them out or take it back. They give you a new one. The shocked customer. Oh, shocked. Must be I bet it's a millennial snowflake. Got to be a millennial snowflake. The shocked customer slammed the fast food chain as she shared pictures of the fried chicken online saying she won't ever eat KFC again. I mean, how pathetic is this? How pathetic is this? The Blackpool woman ordered a KFC from her branch using the Uber Eats. I think it's a delivery thing. I've never used it. And was left horrified after she spotted 3 feathers poking out from one of the hot wings. Oh, dear. The appalled customer posted pictures of food on a community food page yesterday and said her young son thought the feathers looked like small eggs. Well, I mean, you know, this is what bemuses me. Perhaps because I'm vegetarian. You know, where do you think these little packets of stuff named meat come from? They're dead animals. There's no point turning off your head. That's exactly what it is. You are eating a dead animal. You talk to certain people in my life who will remain nameless, and I start talking to, and they're like, oh, I don't want to know. No, you shove it in your mouth, but you don't want to know where it's come from. It's pathetic. It's a dead animal. Yes, it had legs. It had feathers. Surprise, surprise. Stupid people. The woman who did not want to be named said, I have received an apology, refund, and also been told that in no circumstances should I have ever been sent that food. It was a mistake. Mistakes happen. KFC, all these people that go, you know, there are people that go around looking for mistakes so that they can claim money. Look, Mick Davenport's already done it today. He has practically said if he catches the virus, he's going to blame me and try and take me to court for virus on the clock that I sent. Ridiculous. Isn't it? It is ridiculous. There are people that go around, they will look for a slightly raised paving stone or something like that, you know, and then force themselves to trip over and then claim off the council. There are people that seriously do that. I know people that go and book into hotels, and the first thing they do is look around the hotel room for something wrong, go downstairs and demand an upgrade. That's what they do. I think it's a dreadful way to carry on. The woman later got half her money back from Uber Eats at £8.19 refund. She told Lancashire Live, I won't ever eat KFC again. Well, more for you then, darling. More for you. One little accident. And these are pathetic people. Pathetic. When I went to KFC, the manager came over to my car in the car park and I couldn't give me a refund as I'd ordered from Uber. A KFC spokesman said that this is her, not her now. KFC spokesman said the feathers were harmless, but said the incident doesn't mean the Colonel's usual high standards, which is fair comment. I'm sure it doesn't, but it was a mistake. Just go there with your bag of feathered chicken, say, look, this isn't right, and they'll give you another one. What's the bleeding problem? People moaning at all the time, don't they? Daniel says, I don't eat KFC. The independent chicken shacks are much cheaper and taste better. Morning, Daniel Holmes. Hello, sir. Welcome to the show. Has anyone seen the Rude Rainbow on YouTube? Yeah, hilarious. I've seen that, Paul. That's been on there for some years now, doesn't it? Yeah, that's been on there for some years. Daniel gave up watching Rainbow when he was 6. I got up and changed channels when Mum wasn't looking, and that's how I discovered Countdown. Boo! I love that. Good old Richard. He died, didn't he? The original presenter. I quite like the other bloke with the glasses on. We had Des O'Connor doing that for a while. My mum was a big fan of Countdown. Yeah, she did like that. Mandy, just do what you do when Mick starts moaning, just go, yes, dear, no, dear, at the right time. Yes, Mick. Yes, no, dear. Yes, Mick. No, dear. There are millions of con artists around, Peter. You've got to be so careful opening things and that. And you know the sort of people that would trip up on these con artists. It's sad to say, but it's these people that repost stuff on Facebook without checking it out. It's those are the sort of people, sadly, that get done by con artists. And really, it does make my blood boil when you con an elderly person. That is just so low. That is so low. People knocking at your doors. Oh, hello, we've come to check your water. There was a dear old lady I know. I lost contact with her some time ago. I'm afraid I'm one of those people, who I make the effort all the time, making the phone call all the time. Do you know what I mean? Always making the phone call, and nothing comes back the other way. And I get fed up with it in the end. Or perhaps you may have tried someone 10 times and eventually they've decided to ring you back. I think, okay, so they're calling me again now. And then you start ringing again. No answer. Nothing. And eventually I get a little bit fed up with it. And it goes for all ages, it has to be said. Whether it's someone in their 90s or someone who's like 15 years old or 20 years old or 30 years old, 40 years, whatever. If you don't return the calls or make the effort to call me occasionally, then at some point it will stop from me. And I get fed up with it. And this lady, she never used to ring me, ever. In the years that I knew her, so I kind of thought, well, what's the point in this? But nevertheless, when I was seeing her and that, I don't know if she'd be with us still now. She would have been over 90 by now. Yes, she said she had some water people come to her house once, and he said, "Can we come in? There seems to be a bit of a problem with the water. I think it's in your kitchen." Anyway, so she said, okay, she let these two, and then two of them, and one went in the kitchen and started banging his foot on the floor like that. Oh, I don't know. Can I call my mate in and come in here with us, right? Come in here with us, this bloke said, and he's banging his foot on the door. And at the corner of her eye, as she turned her back, she saw the other one come in and go into another room, right? So anyway, this bloke's banging. Anyway, she's gone out the back door. Fortunately, her neighbour was there, and she's gone like that, right? This neighbour has jumped over the fence. He's had them. He's had them both, mate. Good. Nasty, scummy people. Disgusting people. Taking a mick out of elderly people like that is so wrong. It really makes me angry, that. But, they are the sort of people that, unfortunately, are conned. Really. Really. Anyway. Andy, KFC won. The chicken I had still had blood in it. Well, I think, isn't some meat cooked like that? Some people like that. It's not for me, I'm afraid, but some people like it not cooked very well. The chicken I still had blood in it. I didn't notice it till I was halfway through the meal. I complained they gave me a £5 voucher. I thought no thanks and gave it to a homeless person. But nice of you to give something to a homeless person there, Andy, I must say. Jason has never had a bad KFC. Okay. What is carpool? I'm getting carpal tunnel while holding my tablet watching you. Can I claim? What? I don't know what that is. Carpal tunnel. I have no idea what that is. Don't know what that is. Park Nest, the late great Richard Twice Nightly Whitley. Yeah, he was very good, wasn't he? Maybe you could use the countdown clock when we wait to claim the bingo. No, that would be copywritten. Can't use that. Oh, Daniel was on Countdown in 2011. Have you got the video, Daniel? I bet you got the video. You couldn't... Oh, I wouldn't be able to show that. That would be copywritten as well, you see. Fran doesn't like KFC. No, I don't have it, Fran. The best part about the KFC, I have had it before, is the crispy stuff around it, isn't it? That's the stuff that's bad for your weight, isn't it? I think it is. Here's an idea to get back at your exes, boys and girls. You'll love this. You will love this. In the Daily Mirror today, a devastated woman. Here I go, girls. If you've got a bloke who's mucking you around, this is what to do. A devastated woman who was dumped by her cheating boyfriend heard from mutual friends that he wasn't upset about the split and decided to take revenge. We like revenge. Everyone handles breakups differently. Some people delete all traces of their ex and close the door, while others, who feel they've been unfairly treated, turn to revenge. Have you ever revenged on someone? Have you? Have you? Have you? I haven't. I haven't. I really haven't. I really haven't revenged on anyone. One woman who was dumped by her boyfriend for 1 year was left absolutely heartbroken when she discovered he had allegedly been cheating on her. I think that happens a lot more now with all these apps. I mean, I really do. It's so easy. You know, you go, bye-bye, love, bye-bye. You're in the car, straight away on the app, find someone else. Pop round there for half an hour. I think it happens much more now than it used to. The split hit her hard, and she said she spent 3 full days crying over her lost love. Oh, you know what it's like when you lose love, isn't it? Horrible. I remember the first one I lost. 16 I was a girlfriend. I was dumped. I know! Isn't that shock? Me! Dumped! Can you believe that? There you go. Found someone else. Please don't bring back these memories to me. Oh, dear. But when their mutual friends told her that he was having no such problems and was not upset at all, she decided to try and teach him a very elaborate lesson. You see, but the thing is, that's what happens. One person stops fancying the other, and one person is always going to be hurt more than the other one, unless you both end up sort of hating each other, which is, I think one wants it to carry on and one doesn't. I think that's horrible, that is. It happened to me a few times. The woman, known by her surname, had a large lorry arrive at the man's address with a note which read, "I've cried for 3 days, now it's your turn." Inside the truck was a delivery carrying 1 ton of onions. With the moment it arrived at his home in China captured on social media, reports the Daily Mail, but this is from the Daily Mirror. The order came with instructions not to contact the recipient, but just to dump the onions at the front door. Unfortunately for her ex, the driver did as he was told and reportedly spent more than 4 hours shifting the red onions from the truck to the door. She told reporters that she sent the onions to his house as she has got money and wanted him to know the taste of tears. I love it. The man on the receiving end of the stunt told Shandong Net. Now, what is that? That's probably a newspaper in China or something, that he broke up with her due to over-the-top behaviours. He said my ex-girlfriend was very dramatic. Oh, don't do dramatic on this programme, darling. I would never be dramatic on this programme. She's telling everyone that I haven't shed 1 tear since our breakup. Am I a bad person for simply not crying? No, you're not. You're not. You're not. A neighbour then, who lives in the same complex, complained to the reporter, saying, "I don't know if her boyfriend cried, but I definitely have cried. The whole compound now stinks of onions." Oh, that's excellent, that is. I heard a story come around a few times, actually, of someone who, just before they split out with someone, they were round their house, and they sewed frozen prawns into the bottom of the curtains. You see, and they would stink. Of course, so the person comes home, when they start going off, they're looking around for where the smell's coming from and can't find it because they're sewn into the curtains. Morning to Terry Turner. You can show copyright material, probably display a credit in the corner. For example, Countdown Channel 4. Please, may I have a raffle ticket? We haven't done the raffle tickets yet, Terry. But actually, we're going to do it this way from next week. So I'll sort that out when we finish the show. All right, Terry? Yes, thank you, Terry. Yeah, we can start that now if you want to. I don't mind that. It's just I like to give it a week before we stop the other thing. Just a reminder, for the Monday raffle, excuse me. For the Monday raffle, that's slightly changing as from next Monday. You will only be able to claim your raffle ticket while the show is live. So at any time during the show, send me an email or a text and I'll deal with it afterwards, okay, or during, whatever. And then, or immediately after the show. Or at the end of the show, like we're doing now when I say, who wants a raffle ticket, in the live chat box. That's from next Monday. So if you want to, at this point from now, you can do it by text or email while we're doing it. Or you can wait till the end when I should give out the numbers. If you do it by text, you just have to trust me that you've got a raffle ticket, okay? Because I can't tell you. I won't be able to tell you. Do you see what I mean? I won't be able to tell you that I'm doing it. I can't text anyone back. Email, usually I type back there. All right. Thank you, Terry. Actually putting a little thing, and that's a lot of mucking around then. You see, it slows everything down. Daniel hasn't got the video. I haven't seen it since the day it was broadcast. Oh, wow. Okay. Never mind. Carpal tunnel syndrome, pressure on a nerve in your wrist causes pain. Oh, that sounds nasty. I've got painful feet at the moment. I did look it up on the internet. NHS told me not to walk around too much. Well, that's my exercise. So I'm cycling today, down to Little. Hello to Cycle Ranger. Welcome along to the show, Cycle Ranger. I think you're new to the show, so a warm welcome along to you. A medical condition that you can't put too much pressure on your wrists. I do notice, presumably you're a cyclist there, I do notice sometimes I'm cycling and my fingers go tingly. And I have to kind of do that, you know, or go onto just one arm, holding onto my handlebars, and then it settles down again. Sometimes my fingers go tingly. Do you get that, Cycle Ranger? Strange thing there. Mandy's eating donuts. Good luck to you, Mandy. Have 5 for me, darling. Don't give him any. Yes, Mick. If you say so, Mick. If you say so, Mick. If you say so, Mick. Let's have a look there. Talking to each other. Sean, when I divorced my first wife, I went drinking for a year. Yes, it was celebrating for that long. You weren't crying, drowning your sorrows. You were celebrating, my love. Celebrating. What's that? Oh, Gavin Bass's raffle request there. Peter will be a problem for me. Yes, okay. Oh, well, you'll miss out then, Peter. What a shame. Never mind. Mick, Prestige Wills, Jason, you're talking to each other again. Texting for raffle tickets won't work. You need to know your number to claim. Oh, you're quite right there. You're quite right there. I never thought of that. Well, good, well spotted there, Jason. Well, actually, as the texts come in, yeah, that's what I do. If you want to text while the show's on, you can do, and then I'll refer to the text when I give out the raffle tickets. That would work, wouldn't it? That would work. When I do the text thing at the end of the show, I'll refer to them. So anytime during the show, you can text, and that'll already be there, and I'll work it into the end of the show. That works, doesn't it? Yeah. Thanks for pointing out, Jason. Well spotted. Well spotted. Cycle Ranger loves cycling. You want to use padded cycling gloves. I've got these merino wool gloves, which I'm not using at the moment because it's nice and warm. You never get cold in that. Merino wool. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. All right. 2 more stories, and then we'll do the raffle tickets. BBC Three could return to the television. This is in the Daily Mail. BBC Three could make a return to television screens 4 years after it was taken off. I wasn't that much of a fan, really. It moved online in an effort to increase the Broadcasting Corporation's young audience. The digital platform, which is home to international hits Fleabag and Killing Eve, will see it's not Killing Eve isn't home to BBC Three, is it? Is that a BBC Three thing, Killing Eve? That's on BBC One, that is, isn't it? I don't get that. The digital platform. I don't know. It will see its budget doubled in an effort to bring it back to the TV screens. This is BBC Three. The plans follow the success of shows including Normal People, which helped the corporation reach the crucial target age of younger viewers. The youth-focused channel was taken off the air in 2016 in a move that will save the broadcaster £30 million. However, following a strong showing for BBC Three during lockdown, the corporation expects to double the amount in spends on commissions for the channel over the next 2 years and is considering the case for restoring it to a linear TV channel. A BBC source said clearly no organisation from the smallest shop to the largest multinational won't be changed by this pandemic. So they're thinking of putting it on back on Freeview and all that business on normal television. I think it doesn't really affect most people. I think most people actually have got a smart telly now, haven't they? And you can just go on the iPlayer and pull up the BBC programmes and do it like that. I think they're wasting money doing that. There was talk of them getting rid of BBC 4 as well, unfortunately, but One of those things. Mick says, all TV in rubbish. I don't know why I pay £157.50 for a licence. Well, get rid of your telly then, Mick. Get rid of it then if you don't like any of it. Why don't you just get rid of your telly? Some people do. They just get rid of the telly, don't they? And that's it. Just have the radio. I think you can have the internet. You have the internet. You could watch more of these. There's other people doing shows like this. You could watch George Bond or someone like that. I don't know. Jason now celebrates every time the missus goes out. How rude. Cycle Ranger has gel pads which reduces the vibrations. Do you think that's what it is? And I notice it also when I go swimming, although not for fat, but can't believe I haven't been swimming for 4 months. Won't be able to get in the pool and knock out 60 lengths straight away again, will I? Have to build that back up now, whenever that will be. You know, I don't think you can catch. You can't catch. I don't think you can catch much in a swimming pool because you've got all that chlorine in there. The trouble is, of course, all the surfaces and all that in the changing rooms and all that, that would have to be... I suppose they could change it. You could... What could you do? I don't know. You could have your swimming costume on and... No, because then you sit on a bench or something like... You see, that's where the problem is. It's the touching surfaces, isn't it? Or I suppose people could breathe on you in a swimming pool and like that. What are going up and down. Terry says, Killing Eve, excuse me. Killing Eve was originally a BBC Three show. BBC One picked up shows like from other BBC channels. Happily have BBC Three back. Need BBC Sport channel. Well, the thing is with the sports, Terry, they just couldn't compete with what the big money people anymore. Sky and BT Sport have just bought up all these things, haven't they? You know, that's why Grandstand stopped. Some years ago now, there used to be a programme called Grandstand on. And it was every Saturday from 12:30 till about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And it was just a packed afternoon of sport. Hosted by several people. Probably the most prolific would have been Frank Boff, who was an excellent presenter. Sadly, there was a story about him in the newspaper doing whiplash type things and sniffing drugs and things like that. So they sacked him. I don't think they would have sacked him today, but that's how it was then, which was a great shame because he was a very talented man and he was really homely when you watched him on the telly, you know. But that was very sad, that was. But yeah, Grandstand used to be on. But then Sky came along and bit by bit they chipped away at the sports things happening. I mean, I had no interest in it at all. I just used to like the music and the teleprinter. I used to like the teleprinter coming up at the end with the football scores. This was the days before computers. They had this teleprinter there. And, do you know, my head just changed then. You know when it's something happening, something changes in your head and everything became louder. This is like a typewriter. You know the roll where the words get printed on when you type. Okay, that was the teleprinter, and it was this camera zoomed in onto this thing, and it would show you the scores coming in. Very old hat. You know, now of course this was before computers, and gradually Sky and I think it was Sky chipped away gradually at all this sport, buying it all up. So they had less and less sport to show. I think football was a big part of it. That became less and less. So they started replacing it with other stuff. And then it got down to things like, I don't know, more sports that we wouldn't consider watching. Other stuff, perhaps. I can't think of any examples right now. And eventually they just threw in the towel. They couldn't afford to compete with Sky. Or they wouldn't compete with Sky, you know, with the big money. That's why these prices are ridiculous when people go to football matches now. And why the footballers are paid so much money because of Sky and television people like that. That's why. They've pushed up the prices. It's terrible, really. And it's a great shame because not everyone can afford to buy the Sky Sports channel. You know, I'm fortunate that I don't like sport, so I certainly don't like watching it, so... It's just how it is. It's a shame. Peter remembers Grandstand. It was excellent. Very well done. Is it my brain rolling around? It could be. It could be. Grandstand was essential Saturday afternoon viewing. Certainly was for my dad, Parknest. He was a big sports fan, my dad. He loved it. He loved it. Where are we now? It's just got a little bit apart. It was it's full of banger stuff at the moment. Oh, sorry, you're talking to someone else there. Fran was relieved when my ex left me, but it took about 4 years to get my divorce. Yeah, it does take a long time. I think even I was only with my ex-wife for about 6 months. That's all. But it took 3 years for it all to be completed. When that all went, you know. Does take a long time. Silly, really, isn't it? If you're with someone for just a short space of time, you'd think they'd be able to say, oh, cool, this was clearly a big mistake. Thank you, that's done. No, it doesn't work like that. I don't know if it works any differently now. I'm going back here like a long time now. Hello to Michael Pullman just joining us there. Michael Pullman in the house. I remember golf ball typewriters. Yeah, I remember those as well. Right. As Claire would say, here's one more story, and then we'll do today's raffle tickets. Is Sky Sports free? Is that right? Is it really? That's because they've got nothing to show on it. Frank Boff is still alive. He's 87 now. He was one of my favourite presenters. Of course, he moved on to Nationwide a little bit later, didn't he? Da-da-da-da-da-da. That was great, that was. I mean, a hell of a lot better than this one show that they've got on. Oh, I can't bear it. So bland and boring. Nationwide was fantastic, and it took in all little different bits from around the country. Actually, I think they do that on the news channel now, sort of somewhere between sort of 2 and 4 o'clock. They do something a little bit like Nationwide. I don't know if you've noticed, those of you that remember the Nationwide theme tune, those of you that remember that, if you watch. Who's the bloke called? It's that news bloke, isn't it? The one that tries to be funny and isn't. Simon, that's it. Simon. If you watch Simon, I think it's somewhere between 2 and 4 o'clock. They do a little sort of Nationwide segment. I think they call it, we're going to have a look Nationwide or something like that now. And if you listen to the jingle, which is beep, beep, but they've got a little sample of the old Nationwide theme in there. So it's obviously someone from the old school who's done that. Next time you watch it, do you know the bit? I haven't seen it for some time now because I'm really not keen on that Simon bloke. But yeah, there's a bit where they go to a couple of other parts of the country for local stories. Perhaps something like Look North, where I was on there back in January, or Look East, or Reporting Scotland, or Wales Today, something like that. They go to that, and before they go to that, they play the BBC News theme, boom, boom, beep, beep, with the pips. And in there, hidden, you've got to listen for it, hidden is the old Nationwide theme, and I picked it out straight away. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And it's just a little bit of it. See if you notice. Has anyone noticed that? Anyone noticed that at all? I love TV jingles and all that. Terry watches darts, indoor bowls and snooker. Can't stand football or rugby, though. If the corporation wants to save money, combine BBC 1 and 3 and BBC 2 and 4. Well, I think you're talking sense there, Terry, actually. I don't understand why we have to have so many blooming channels, because most of it's crap. Most of it, you could, if you combined 1 and 3 and 2 and 4, you could get rid of the crap that they fill in between, like gardening programmes and cookery programmes. How many cookery programmes have we got to have on there? Dear me, there's only one way you can cook a set of beans. I'm telling you that now. Mick's trying to cancel Sky. Oh, well, good luck to that, mate. Good luck to that. You'll be lucky. I've heard stories of people trying to cancel their Sky. It's a joke. Absolute joke. Can't do it. Can't get through. Good luck with that. It's a shame. You know with these, when you cancel things like that, it should be that you can just go on your bank account or credit card and say, stop payment now. That should be how it works. And they'd soon come running. They would ring you then. You might, I don't know if you want to try that, Mick. If you stopped payment. If you stopped payment, they'd be straight on the phone to you, mate. I'm sure that would work. Anyone tried that? If you stop payment, I practically guarantee they'd be straight on the phone. It's like when I let my Virgin Media run out, right? For weeks leading up to it, I kept ringing them up for a better deal. No, they weren't having none of it, right? 2 days after the contract actually finished, and I said I was going to cancel, they were on the phone. Oh, hello, you said you were. Straight on the phone when the money stops. Oh, God, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, Parknest is saying the same thing there. The Sky website is totally down. I don't know. I don't have Sky. I cancelled that some years ago. I just wasn't watching it. Cycle Ranger is paying £50 for the basic package. Do you get the internet for that as well? Can you get the internet as that as well? One more story. Here we go. Ed Sheeran never had a mortgage. Wow. Ed Sheeran had splashed the cash in amassing a property empire that includes 22 houses and apartments in London, and he hasn't turned to a bank to help to finance the purchases. He paid cash. Wow. I mean, I've got mortgages. Ed Sheeran has amassed £57 million property empire. Hasn't borrowed a penny from the banks. He's 29. He's put his alleged 200 million fortune into good use by paying for his properties in cash, including 22 houses and apartments in London alone. Isn't that fantastic? Wow. There's a sensible man. One of the few pop stars that decided not to go down the drugs and the drink and spend all his money as it came in. What a sensible boy. Excellent. I was the same with my mother and father's money. When they died, I didn't spend any of it at all. I put it all into properties. All of it. All of it. And that was 20 years ago now. As well as buying up the capital, not the whole capital, a few places in the capital, Ed has a sprawling estate in Suffolk that has a number of properties in a mini village created by the chart-topping star. That'd be quite nice, wouldn't it? You could create your own village, right, and only have people there that you like. Are you liking the sound? I'd quite like the sound of that. So there'd be me there, you know. There'd be my sister and her husband on this estate. There'd be my nieces and nephews and their families on the estate. Maybe one or two of you, even if you were lucky. It says it's a far cry from the moment that Ed slept rough in front of Buckingham Palace, riding to the tube so he had somewhere to sleep. Fame bought fortune, and Ed decided to shun any loans from financial institutions and pay for the lot in cash. Wow. He's got a £20 million pad in London's Notting Hill, as well as splashing out a combined £5.5 million on two adjacent properties on Portobello Road. Portobello Road, Portobello Road, streets where the riches and something are sold. That one. Very, very good. Bedknobs and broomsticks. It's lovely bobbing along on the bottom of the beautiful briny sea. Love it. And it goes on. So good on him. Good on him for not wasting his money there. I think that's excellent. Well done, Ed Sheeran. Let's have a look there. Alrighty. Oh, that's it. Okay, let's. If you want your raffle tickets, please ask now. If you've already asked it, you don't want to ask my... Oh, sorry. Oh, there it is. There it is. There's the clip. Oh. Dare I play? Listen carefully. Listen very carefully. This is the clip. Thank you very much to Terry sending this. The nationwide BBC Afternoon News is what it's called. And they used a tiny little... This is going back here... Oh, this is going back 40 years here, and they've pulled... Someone obviously was around at that time and has put the clip into the BBC jingle. Have a little listen, and you'll hear... Listen carefully, you'll hear the old Nationwide tune in here. Hear it? I told you. Told you it was in there. Thanks, Terry, for that. I'm glad I got to show you that. I'm glad I got you to hear that. It's nice to have a little bit of old stuff, isn't it? The tickets are a little bit out of sequence at the moment, but don't worry about that. It's pretty irrelevant, to be honest. As I say, has anyone asked for a ticket by text? And we'll bring those into the show. If you're ever asking for a ticket by text, I will do those now at the end of the show. Thank you very much for Jason for pointing that out. That was very good. So ask for your tickets now by text message or on here. All right? Right, here we go then. Bum, 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 bum. James Humble. Thank you, James. Your first set. 196, James. Someone's at the door now. Can you hang on a minute? I'll have to play a bit of music now while I go and answer the blooming door. 1 second, darlings. Sorry about that, gang. That's a registered parcel coming through there. All right, where did we get to? James Humble then, 196. Peter Wright, 197. Sprintervan, 198. Hello, John. John Aitken, 199. Excuse me. Rachel, it would be fun. At least you know you will all get on. No nasty neighbours. Be quite nice. I would have all my neighbours here in it. They're wonderful, all my neighbours. Jason Hughes, 200 for you, Jason. As I say, these numbers are a bit out of order this morning, but not to worry. That's for Jason there. Tony King, 183. Make sure you take a note of your numbers, gang. You need your numbers when we pull this raffle on Mondays, okay? Tony King, 183. Colin Coates, 184 for you, Colin. Diane Jebb, 185. What's this one now? 186. Good morning to George Bond. Glad you enjoyed the quiz yesterday, George. Michael Lawrence, where are you now? Michael Lawrence, 186. Michael Lawrence, 186. Fran Green, 187. Andy, 188. Rachel, 189. Rachel W. Mick Davenport, 190. 190 for Mick. Maureen. Right, we should be back in sequence now. There we go. Maureen, 201. Texting in there. Maureen. 201 for Maureen. Ross Herndon, 202. Taking out your numbers, darlings, all right? 202 for Ross. Ross. Sean Pye, 203. Claire, 204. Just scrolling down. Adrian, 205. I'll just tell you what's going to happen with those tickets again afterwards in case anyone's just joining us and doesn't realise what a little change we're doing there. Shania there, 206. And Simon, 207. Okay, anyone else I've missed out, please speak now. So what we're going to do from next week, you'll only be able to claim a raffle ticket while the show is on. Okay, so as soon as the show finishes, no more tickets. Throughout the course of the show, you can claim either by text message or email, or you can, as most of you are here now, as most of you do now, just wait to the end of the show when I say tickets now, and I'll do them then. All right? Now, if you do it by text, I will read out your numbers within the bit at the end where I say read numbers. So anytime during the show, text in if you want to. If you want to do it like this and say ticket please, and make sure you put your name on there as well, because if you're not saved in there, I won't know who it is, and I'll read them out while I'm reading these ones out now that I'm reading out. And it just occurred to me, it's better if I do the same on the email as well. So I'll do the emails at the same time. So we'll do everything at the end of the show. No more replies to emails or anything like that. I'll do it all within the thing at the end of the show. So that way, when the show's finished, I've finished as well. And there's no more hanging around in the studio for hours trying to deal with things, all right? So we get it all done at the same time. I think that will work a lot better as well. So I'll start doing that from today. Gavin Bass, 208 on the email there, Gavin. Thank you. There we are. George Bond, 209. And Dr. Gregorian, 210. All right. So that's how that's going to work. Okay. So they'll all be read out at the end of the show there. Alrighty, gang. Is that everyone's tickets? I think we've done everyone's tickets now. Let's just do today's birthdays. Happy birthday on this Wednesday, the 20th of May 2022. Chirag. Hello, Chirag. Chirag Patel, 38 years old. Very good friend of mine. Old customer of the Black Cap. Happy birthday, Chirag. All right. Mimi Maxine today is 33 years old. Happy birthday, Mimi. James Max, who is an excellent broadcaster. He's been on LBC, BBC Radio London. You would have seen him on The Apprentice as well a few years ago now. James Max, it's his birthday today. Big happy birthday to you, sir. I think you're a wonderful presenter, really do. Happy birthday. Brian Roncini, Ron Chetty, I beg your pardon, is 76 years old today. Richard Thibault. Good morning, Richard. Happy birthday to you. Liam Bentley today, 33 years old. I work with him at Hammersmith Belushes. Laura Scarlett Young today is 42 years old. And Chi Chi Kunkani is actually Chirag Patel, as I say, right at the beginning there, 38 years old. Happy birthday, gang. Oh, dear. Wrong. Just a minute, dear. What have I done now? I'm pushing all the wrong buttons this morning. Have you noticed that? Happy birthday, everyone. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Twice, coronavirus. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. There we are. I shall make my hands red raw if I keep washing them like that, won't I? Is that everyone's tickets done? We've done all the tickets, have we? Yes. Excellent. Okie doke, dang. Thanks very, very much for joining us on the show today. Michael Pullman's just sent in a little email there, so let's just do that one. Michael Pullman, you are ticket number 211 for Michael Pullman, all right? There we are. Michael Pullman, 211. Have I got that right? Yes, 211 for Michael Pullman. Okay, doke. Thanks for joining us on the show today. I hope you've had a good time. I've enjoyed myself sitting here chatting away. Nice to go in the garden, isn't it? I do like to go in the garden. Tomorrow is, of course, our Super Chatters raffle. That'll be happening sometime between the show, between 9 and 11 o'clock tomorrow. Okay? Have a lovely day. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye-bye now.